I get it.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the January 20th, 2026 regular meeting of Warren's Historic Commission. We have a quorum. First on the agenda is approval of minutes from December 16th. Any comments or questions?
Nope.
Motion to approve.
Oh, the minutes, there was one mistake under new business, number one, the second paragraph, third sentence. I think it was supposed to be existing where it says the exciting
Oh, yeah.
trim detail. I wasn't that excited.
Where is that?
Appreciate
That was pretty fun.
Okay, yeah. Got it.
Just making sure we're paying attention.
it. Yes, that's good.
Little sense of humor. All right. Anything else?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes with the changes
Okay.
that noted.
We have a second.
Actually, my absence was excused.
Oh, was it?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think it all of you, or no,
Thought I talked to you. Maybe it was Haley.
maybe it was Haley.
Yeah.
Because Haley does like the.
I did send an email.
Okay,
Yep,
I'll change that back for you.
please do.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Motion to approve with the amendments. Any second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We have no public here. We can move on past public comment. Old business, none. New business, Triad Buckeye Group LLC, 442 Main Street. Place trim and front facade. Is that you?
Sweet.
Okay, good. How are you? Come on up.
Good.
Tell us your plans.
First,
Introduce yourself.
yep, my name's Matthew Antonio. Here on behalf of Triad Buckeye Group, office at 47 Maple Avenue in Barrington. And so we have had some ongoing issues with like water on that building. Addressed a few things on the roof, addressed a few plumbing things, like we just been chasing water, you know. And it became apparent that actually water was coming in from multiple sources, and that's why we were in one place one time. And anyhow, a source was definitely that front facade. You know, there's like that section that's 55 feet wide that runs the whole length of the building, and it's 5 or so feet tall. And there used to be awnings there.
Yep.
Back when Space Cadets was there, they had an awning, and we took the awnings down because they were sort of damaged and old anyhow. But I think the way that they were just tied into the aluminum that was there, when the awnings came down, there were some holes and some flashing and some things that just weren't right. So now we've removed all of the old aluminum and stuff. We've actually pulled down some of there was like some old backing up there. We pulled that down. Spent a day basically like reattaching the subsurface that's there. You know, like just screwing it and gluing it and getting it like nice and tight so that it's ready for whatever we put over it. We just covered it nice and water shield for now so that it stayed protected from the weather. But obviously that doesn't look super nice long term, so we're trying to come up with another plan. And we're honestly open to, you know, whatever really makes sense and is going to look nice. I've found a few old pictures over the weekend that aren't part of what I submitted, just to try to get an idea of what the building looked like years ago. But it's hard. Like most of them are taken from the perspective of like it wasn't focused. Most of the ones I've seen anyways, they weren't focused on that particular building. It was like they were focused on the Tavares building and the old, you know, market, I guess, Warren House of Pizza building. So it's sort of hard to really see.
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
I've looked through old photos myself. I haven't found a good one yet.
Yeah. I brought a couple. I'm kind of curious if they're the same ones you found, but
So could I just ask in your when everything came off, what was under that area?
When the awning came off, you mean, or?
Or the aluminum or what was behind the
That was the
awning?
tile.
Was it
it's-
rough brick, like just filler brick, or was it finished?
No, it's wood and
I drove by it, Dave, there's sheathing.
yeah,
Oh, it was
house.
actually sheathing.
vertical
Just
1
door-
by 6 or something.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I do have some pictures of it.
So it might have been like a sign band or something at one time.
Yeah.
That's where Jack and Harry's was, wasn't it?
Oh, one of my time.
I think it was a
Want
sign.
to show you?
Yeah.
It seems like it would have been a sign
It's all-
banner.
Oh, I see. Oh, wow. So that's early.
There was copper for that, you know, obviously
Yes,
protecting the
they all
water.
did that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's
So
what's
if it
under
was
this,
copper-
water protective barrier.
Yeah, and there's big steel beams behind there.
Right.
We pulled off a couple of those ports so that like we could
Ah.
see what was behind it. It's big.
Was that
You'll
built at
be-
the same time as the gun shop?
Pretty close.
It looks.
38, yeah.
1938, yeah.
38.
This is 38. I don't know about the back.
Yeah,
They're very similar.
yeah, at the top, they've got a big.
Oh, yeah. no,
Um,
38.
Well, my guess is if it had copper over that, that was probably original.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, nobody would have come back later and added copper.
right, right. Yeah, good
So
point.
that's interesting. And what was the shape of that? You all beat up?
Yeah.
all-
It just had so many holes in it and it was like wavy enough that, you know, although it's like.
Not gonna keep the-
cup. Yeah, there wasn't much shave in it. And I think it was really just there. I think, I don't know, you guys know better than I would, but I don't think that would have been the finish. I think it was just
Yeah, I think,
weather.
Well, this picture right here. That's what I remember
right,
seeing.
right. So there's always been, and they probably put that up
I bet that was
to
a
cover,
big sign.
cover the
banner.
copper because it was already not watertight, you know?
There was copper, then there was aluminum, which
Right.
you had seen
Right.
recently, and the aluminum was underneath the awnings.
Right.
Yeah.
So the other thing I've tried to do is, I've talked to the landlord who I'm friends with, and I was kind of surprised that he didn't give you a copy of it. He has the original blueprints
Yeah,
when that building was built from his grandfather,
right.
and, he's trying to find them. I've seen them. He showed them to me 2 or 3 years ago,
Sure.
and he's trying to get them. So if you're open to at least seeing those, the only thing I remember about them was the brick came down right to the sidewalk, the brick column
Mhm. Yep,
on the ends and 2 or 3 of them or whatever in the middle.
okay.
And at some point in the 60s or whatever, they redid the whole thing, and
Right.
But is it just covering the brick? Is
I
that?
think it is, because there's some image here, right here. If you
Yeah,
zoom
oh yeah,
out,
you can
They
see.
just painted the brick black.
yeah, so the corner ones, they probably left. I don't know if the other ones are still there. I think they eliminated some of them, but at any rate.
Yeah. because-
So what is, I haven't seen it in the last, whatever, what is it, what is it, the status of it now? What's on it now?
It's ice and water
Mine.
sheet, like
It's
just
just-
an
Rubber-
underlayment.
rubber.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's watertight,
yes.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have some
Some of
tenant
them,
turnover that's taking
had
place
the-
there right now.
The older
The
ones,
tattoo shop that's there is
Yes,
moving a little
agency.
bit down the road to a smaller space because she was looking for smaller space.
They can show
Okay.
And then the gym, Desi out of training,
Yeah.
needed a bigger space. He's going over to the industrial park behind Palmer River Grill.
It's there now.
And
So you're gonna have 2 empty spaces.
well, one remember Woof Woof
Yeah.
Boutique?
Oh, yeah.
She's gonna move back to
Excellent.
Warren.
Excellent.
She-
I know she
yeah.
was looking.
So she's gonna go in where the tattoo shop is now. And we
well-
might have a woman's clothing store to that.
That'd be
Desi out of
great.
Training, so,
Which none of that is really our purview, but
right.
in terms
Yeah.
of just,
So,
a vision for what we should do there.
This is came off.
Good timing with signage changes and things like that.
Right.
That's all,
Right.
like obviously having good signage nice looking traditional signage, but something people can see is helpful, you know, that way the businesses can succeed.
Right.
So you're thinking of having that space for signage? So,
I mean, no, just that whatever it is that we come up with long-term should be mindful of the fact that you need to be able to see the signs for the businesses, you know? Like what we have under that deck on the Tavares building, you know, those signs kind of hang down. They're nice wood signs. And I think they're noticeable enough that people can see them.
Yeah.
Good.
With an
Well, you
awning.
could, I mean, there's nothing, that's the sign ordinance. You can certainly put a sign flat on the building too if you wanted to.
Sure. Yep.
That's up to you, but for our purposes, I guess you're looking for some sort of input as to what you could do there that would be more permanent than just the rubber membrane, something more architectural.
Yes.
So, I mean, obviously you gave us this sketch, but you know, I don't even know if it's worth investing in this. That's just my own reaction. If it's not going to really be anything architecturally interesting or whatever. So I guess at this point, do you have anything else you'd like to add to this at this point? Before I get the reaction from the board?
Sure. Why don't we hear the reaction from the board? That makes sense.
What do you guys think? Any thoughts, input,
I was
ideas?
thinking brick, just filling it in with brick and exposing the brick that's covered in wood.
It's an idea. I don't know if the structure is there to,
There's no brick behind that wood.
right,
No, but it's set back. It's not flush.
right.
There's about how
Saying
many?
fill it in,
3 inches
fill it all
or
in with
so,
brick.
where there's a ledge at the
Yeah.
bottom and then also at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just fill it in
Mm-hmm.
and have
Not a
that
bad idea.
continuity of brick. And it looks like your brick is still there on the sides and it's probably along the bottom as well. It seems like they just covered it all up with wood.
So I don't know what, there's some kind of strange material on the bottom there. I don't,
Yeah,
that's painted like
yeah.
particle
Masonite.
board or something. or ma-
Super thin wood.
Yeah,
like
I was gonna
almost
say,
like underlayment.
Masonite.
yeah, something kind of,
Use that
Yeah, it's this stuff.
laminate.
Mhm,
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. Yeah, because it has a weird texture to it.
Yeah. What's that metal? You can't see it now because it's covered with that protective barrier, but right below where the metal strip was across the top, there's metal. Is that venting? Is that any type of venting? Yeah, I can show you.
Oh, the channel.
This right here. What is?
No,
That's
no, that
solid?
was just aluminum. Yeah, that's actually 2x12
That's
lumber. That has a beam behind it. So it's
Okay.
it's kind of like they padded it out,
Yeah.
almost like it was just going to be a border of some kind,
Mhm.
and then it goes to 2x4 on the sides and across the top.
Okay.
That aluminum molding or whatever it was,
And that's all gone now anyway, right?
Mhm.
yeah.
You know, when they put these awnings in, they must have cut that in order to have like legs for the awnings to come
Mhm.
down.
Mhm.
What do you guys think?
Trying to get some price. There's a big fire communication tower on the front of that building too. And I've talked to
Oh,
Chief Souza about, you know,
we
like,
were wondering what that
could we
was.
move it? And
It's
she
new.
can, as long as it, you know, it's just gotta work. So
What is its function?
it communicates to the fire department if the panel goes off and there's no like landline or
Mhm.
internet or whatever. It uses like a radio signal.
So that could be
basically.
relocated, though. It doesn't have to be on the front of the building.
Doesn't have to be on the front of the building. He
But
said
that's
they
relatively new. That wasn't there before.
think whatever they put the panel in, that's when they did that. And part of the problem was on the side of the building, there's actually not much room between.
But that
our
wasn't
neighboring
there,
building.
that wasn't there when it was for sale. Here's a picture of when it was for sale. I don't know what year this was, but
Well,
that's why I say relatively new. I just, because it is when it was for sale for lease and it's not there.
Oh, yeah, isn't that funny?
So that's why I was wondering if it could be relocated
Yeah.
or not right on the front.
Yeah, that's an
Big
old
building.
Homer that was like out of commission. We got rid of that.
Yeah.
And then this is just like old BX wiring that was coming
Mhm.
down to a light fixture.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Be interesting to see the blueprints, not that they're gonna reveal all that much, but it seems to me it's a substrate for signage.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think so
and
too.
it's, the sad part is, the sign that would look great in historic would probably be too big with the current ordinance.
Right.
Yes.
That whole thing should be like a wooden,
Yeah, big.
hand
round.
painted,
Yeah.
beautiful
Yeah.
sign,
Right.
right? Either naming the building or businesses,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the ordinance is gonna be a problem.
Well, plus with people coming and going, there's so
Right.
much change in the,
Yeah,
Right.
that's
you
true.
know, in the old days, it would be like,
That's
yeah,
true.
this is never leaving.
First National.
We're gonna be here
supermarket.
forever.
Like I
Right.
said, it could say
It might have been.
Reno building, or
There
you know,
was
have some other,
I know,
Yeah.
I just
No,
forgot.
it is, it's a sign, it definitely feels like a signboard. of-
Yeah.
and I feel like that's what it was always probably
I,
intended
I
for.
agree.
Are these the photos you found?
That one is, yeah. Yeah.
It's basically the same.
Oh, that's a detail of it. Yeah, yeah. I sent it to Ned this afternoon
Yeah.
and, that's the only one I,
So-
that's it.
Oh, down here, I'm like.
Yeah.
I
And
felt like I was just searching stuff up, and this brick building, this is just a brand new brick building, but
There
like
isn't
the
that
way
in-
it's
this is a
inset.
postcard.
Right.
It's almost like that.
It was
like it's
typical.
designed for that.
well, I think back in the day, I think like he said in the thirties, it was probably more for a sign board.
Signage, yeah.
Yeah, 38
And-
deco.
And if there was an awning, it would have been below the sign
Yeah, yeah,
and much more
Correct.
shallow,
yeah,
you know?
This is,
yeah, yeah, but I mean, that's below the sign.
Let me see. Oh, that's another one that you just took a photograph. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dave, this is an old postcard.
and then
so
some
it
of the
really-
other Art
it
Deco
looks
buildings that
like
I've
all
seen,
the sign-
have, like
Yes.
flat.
Right, see those big sign
Because it's,
bands?
yeah, right?
That's a good one.
See those, this is the old postcard from eBay.
Yeah,
Which looks like that's obviously a new building. But I.
Can you zoom in?
guess
Yeah.
that's Art
Yeah.
Deco style.
And then this one looked
I
like
don't
there
mind
wasn't
the
one.
awning like that. With
Yep.
signage above, I actually think it looks kind of nice.
yeah,
I just would prefer to find something other than,
the rubber underneath, you mean?
well, and something other than like the canvas awnings. I feel like they just look bad, fast.
They don't last, yeah.
They fade really fast. I know it's on Precas Farina, like,
It's-
Yeah.
it's completely faded and.
But if you can put like the metal, this is not that, like, this building looks kind of funny to me, but like. It
Oh,
just
yeah.
shows standing seam
Right,
metal
that-
on an
yeah,
Art Deco building
Yep.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
instead of like
Yeah,
canvas
then it's gonna
material.
last too.
So you
Yeah.
wanna go back to awning? Or you just,
I think it makes
Like,
sense.
it looks like it belongs, like it needs something more than just flat, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And even though what I sketched up here. Pretty decent sketch, huh?
Really nice.
Yeah. It would get covered if you put an awning over it.
Right.
Which is okay, it's
Right.
PVC, it would last, it would be a good backer to, you know, attach something to.
Well, if it had color. It's paintable.
I don't think that, but just to be clear, like, I don't think this would look good white. I feel like
No, no.
it would look, but I did wonder if you did this and you had some sort of muted color.
We don't have any jurisdiction over color, just so you
I know, but
Oh, you don't?
I'm
Oh,
all
no
about the
kidding.
color.
Oh, that's funny.
But doesn't mean we
About
don't
the
have.
color-
opinion.
Color.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
So is it more just like material and
Yes, it's
design?
design.
Material
Yeah.
and design.
Yeah, I thought of like, I actually thought like cedar. In fact, I went down in the basement of the Tavares building. We have. And now I know what it's for. Honestly, I wondered for a long time, like, what was that for? I think in that picture I gave you, the older. Do you have that?
Oh, yeah,
This
this one, yes.
Yeah, so. You see those railings
Oh.
on top of
oh,
the
you think
Tavares?
you have the railings?
Well, I have replicas that were made of cedar. I
That
have
was
all of them in the
Jesse.
basement of Tavares.
Jesse.
Jesse bought them and they
Or made.
never got, you probably need them.
He was the
Yeah.
woodworker.
And they never
But
got
it's a
installed.
lot of- It's expensive. It's a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of
Two
cedar.
these.
So
Yep.
we cleaned out that basement. I was like, oh, don't throw that out.
So is it just stock or did he actually make the railings?
The railings are
I
made.
like the idea.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
the idea.
You're not,
Good.
you don't want to put them back up
We do,
metal,
that
right?
roof's gonna need to be done soon.
first?
And so like, I feel once we do that roof, that would be the time to do it.
I know we're drifting a little bit here, but.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it may be, I started
Maybe
thinking
not
like, well,
for-
this would look nicer in
that
cedar.
sort
It
of
would be
thing.
just muted and like a little less, and it would still last.
Sure.
And that's what got me to look at, I went down the basement, I was like, oh, there's a ton of cedar down there. Maybe I could like repurpose that, but it's clearly like made for those railings.
Yeah. Well.
But flat stock cedar could be like, instead of PVC, do it out of cedar, and I think it would look,
Honestly, I mean, then you gotta paint it.
yeah,
Then you're just gonna, that's a maintenance thing. And I'm
Right.
just suggesting, I mean, that's probably why they did it in copper originally,
mm-hmm,
hoping it would be forever, obviously today you probably couldn't do it in copper, but
Copper's probably the same price as cedar right now.
it might be. But what about something like aluminum, that would be,
yeah,
again, fairly permanent,
sure,
maintenance free, pick whatever color you want, have it
mm-hmm,
permanent, you don't have
Yep.
to. And then, like you say, even if it was exposed, it might not be horrendous. Or if it was incorporated into whatever type of awning you had below it,
right,
at least it would look like something.
right,
Because it is, I do believe it was space set aside for a sign band.
right,
So it was never meant to be finished brick.
mm-hmm,
Now today, because of the regs, if you want to spend the money, I think it would look nice to be brick up there.
mm-hmm,
If the beam could handle the weight.
right,
And again, be maintenance free, be
Right.
one and done.
right, right,
And
And you
then
could always still put up.
you can still put a sign up, you can still put an awning up, you can still do whatever, all that kind of stuff.
right,
But aluminum, just unpainted aluminum or
No, anodized, get any,
anodized
you
aluminum?
can get any color you want now, right?
Mhm.
All kinds of sheet stock, basically almost what was there.
yeah.
That brown, that was probably done in the eighties. That's what
Mhm.
I'm guessing. That vertical brown. aluminum.
What about an awning style, but out of like standing seam metal, like a black standing seam metal?
I think that would look nice,
I
but
do too. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to, I'm trying to get to the physical building itself
Mhm.
yeah,
so that then whatever is in front of that awning wise or signage or whatever is different. Maybe it can be incorporated. But even if you put an awning off of that, still have to put something under that.
Right,
but you
like,
still have to
to
cover it.
seal that.
yes,
Say.
yes. So that was my thought, honestly, with this, was that this would have, like, so these pieces that run vertical would cover seams in PVC sheets of like 4x8.
Right.
And you get a seam every so often, so we space them out so it looks symmetrical. But then I wouldn't really want to leave it like this. I think it needs something
Right.
over it, but that's where I was thinking the awning that would really cover it. So like the bottom of the awning would come out here,
Sure.
the angle would come down, maybe it sticks out a couple feet or something. So what you would see is the standing seam black metal, and the only way you see this is if you stood underneath it and
Underneath it,
looked up at it,
right.
But this would at least get it weather tight until, because this is something you probably have to go to like the guy in Tiverton or whatever that does the metal, somebody who does metal, and have them make it up specific
Yeah.
for it. And then I think they just go
Right.
install it.
I think. Doesn't really matter what you do with that. If an awning's gonna go over the front of that,
Yeah,
and that's the back side of the awning.
yeah,
right? It just needs to be weather tight.
Yeah.
Protect your building
agreed.
and then disappear into the awning.
Yes,
So if the awning's black, that should be black.
yep,
And
agreed.
then, like you said, unless you're standing underneath it, standing up,
Right.
and even then you might not even really notice all that much about it.
Yeah, I agree, because if it was white and it's under that on, it's just gonna get real. I mean, we have to clean the front of the Tavares building like a couple times a year because that
Yeah.
white
The dirt.
shadow box stuff, it just starts to look bad after a while.
My only sort of devil's advocate comment would be that the awning may not be permanent,
Mhm.
Yeah,
so that theoretically this would be.
mm-hmm,
So we should make a good decision on this.
mm-hmm,
And then the awning or whatever comes on top of that can really, if it's gonna be permanent, I guess it would be under our purview. I don't even know that canvas awnings are under our purview. So for our purposes, again, I think this is really the most important decision that we make.
Mhm.
And then if you do a nice standing seam awning on top of that or whatever,
Yeah,
that's great.
I mean, the awning he's talking about is gonna last 50 to 75 years.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
not-
if it's a
pretty
Right.
permanent,
Yeah,
yeah.
and what, I mean, obviously, it's some
Pretty
kind of
rugged.
disaster or event could shorten its life, but
Right.
I don't see it being short.
Well, you said it is, you've got rubber membrane there and it's watertight now.
Yeah,
Uh,
it just,
do you,
it look, you know.
well, I know, it looks like rubber.
Yeah.
No, I know, it's just a temporary thing.
Yeah,
What I'm getting at is I wonder if, would you be willing to explore these metal standing seam awning companies
yeah,
and talk to them about this situation?
yeah,
Maybe they have an idea
right,
that none of us have even thought of.
sure.
Or a material or that they work with, or maybe it's the same material, maybe
Mhm.
it's just more aluminum or something, I don't know.
Yep, yep.
Maybe it's all fabricated as one thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yep.
so it is more permanent.
Right, right.
Yeah, if you have these rails every so often, if you did decide to do, didn't do the awning and you wanted to put signs up there, those might be kind of annoying. So you might want it just to be flush. So that you could hang,
Mhm.
as in this old photo or this one that Lisa has, you can see. Yeah, in this old postcard, you can kind of see how, each business, because I guess they probably did have it broken up at the time, but this is see that?
Yeah,
So they must have been able to adhere those to something. Yeah. Again, I'm not saying you actually do it that way, but to have a surface that you can work with.
Mhm.
I just think,
Yeah, I think an awning roof would hang, the bottom of it would be low enough that you probably couldn't hang signage
Yeah.
below it.
Yeah, probably not.
You'd have to hang it above it,
Mhm.
which I think would be okay. I think it would look similar to that one restaurant photo that I had.
Well, especially with the ordinance such as it is, they're
Mhm.
smaller anyway, so you
Right.
want them perpendicular to the sidewalk
Mhm.
coming off the building above the awning.
Yeah,
yeah, so you may not start the awning as high, you may start the awning lower.
mhm.
And like I said, maybe it's incorporated into filling in the upper part of that, say it's divided in half or whatever, so you still have a band that you can put
Mhm.
signage up. And then the awning,
So you're saying having the awning below this space?
or,
Across
no,
the middle, maybe.
or maybe across the middle of it.
Across the middle.
So or somewhere in between,
Mhm.
so that you'd preserve some area above it for signage
Mhm.
if you wanted to. And the awning would be shallower
Mhm.
in that.
It's hard without having
again,
an
I'm just-
architectural drawing to
Yeah, we're just
be able to look at proportions and,
thinking on our feet. I know this is bigger than it feels like in this drawing.
yeah. Well,
5 feet,
what's
isn't it?
5 feet tall?
5'8", is that right?
Yeah,
You could
Yeah.
count the brick.
so that's
So
a,
it's almost 6 feet.
5'8" includes the 2x12 on the bottom, so like it's definitely cut out when they bricked that building. Like there was never brick in this opening,
Yeah.
like it
Right.
was always,
We get that.
Yeah. and so I think we were roughly 9 feet from the sidewalk to the bottom of this. So then you figure you're another 5, you're roughly 14.5 feet up to where the top of that awning roof would start. So you'd be mounting signs to the masonry part of the building, like with an arm that would hang above where the awning roof is.
Yeah, it's very
I
high.
mean, I
In
will
my
say-
mind, that's what looks the nicest, like I
Yeah.
think that metal awning roof
Yeah.
would look really, really nice.
Really handsome, yeah.
I viewed this as sort of like a bridge between now and when
Right.
that gets, because that could take 6 months or something,
To do what?
to get the awning,
Oh,
Yeah.
built.
yeah,
fabric.
built
Oh,
and
yeah.
installed.
Yeah, yeah,
And I just try to be mindful, like the guy who's there, Arkwood Jewelry now, where he was with Inhabit and Inhabit moved out. Now he's got it all on his own. Like, he's got a sign. He's like energetic about trying to
Yes.
make it happen and make it work. I don't want the building to look,
Yeah, he's excited.
yeah, I want it to try to look good right away. And then we just enhance it with something else in the near future,
I don't think there's
Um,
a board in town that continues stuff more than we do, but there's a reason for that. It's a process. They
Yeah,
work through stuff. To Davidson's point before, might be helpful to have you do some investigating with the awning
yeah,
that you like, see what solutions they might have for that backdrop portion of it, and
right.
then come back to us and we can talk about it further.
Yeah,
And maybe in the meantime,
And get a spec, if you actually think there's some options, some really interesting options to get us like a spec or a couple of spec drawings.
mhm,
So that we can all get on the same page and say, okay, that's
Yeah.
great, done,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
maybe in the meantime, we can drum up the blueprints and the affordable up here. WPS seems to have access to photos, of all kinds of stuff. No,
But I can look.
maybe do a little digging.
Yeah, there are photo collections in town.
Yeah.
No.
So
So can I just ask a question? Were you intending to put an awning up for sure, or was that gonna be sometime in the future? And are we kind of pushing you into completing this with an awning and you hadn't planned on doing that right away, or have you decided?
It really depends on how much an awning would cost.
Yes.
And so I don't know what that would be yet.
It would set the building apart, I think, which would be nice.
Oh, for sure.
You
Yeah.
know, like to,
yeah.
because right now, like everything kind of blends,
Yep. Yep.
So if you did a little investigating about the cost and how that might interface with this panel,
Mm-hmm.
then you could perhaps make a decision.
Right.
And bring that to us. which
Yeah.
would be helpful.
Of it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I hope.
It does. I just, I guess my thought was from a construction perspective, this would be a suitable backdrop to an awning. We could, if we installed this properly, we could install the awning over it. And so I kind of looked at it as like a two-phase thing. Like, can we do this for now
Okay.
to
okay.
get the building sort of at least looking other than halfway
Unfinished.
undone? Yeah, unfinished. Frankly, I feel like it's looked unfinished since we took the awnings off, like even just the aluminum there looked unfinished. And we kept saying, oh, we got to do something with that. We got to do something with that. But the catalyst was getting water in there. I do worry too that even like the ice and water shield, it's not meant to be exposed for a long period of time. So that was the thought, like, can we do this with an agreement that anything, the next step comes another meeting and talk about, okay, here's the awning with the dimensions. Cause I'm pretty sure I could get whoever's going to build that awning to give us like a nice drawing of exactly all the dimensions, pictures, renderings, whatever.
I think because the mounting of the awning depends a bit on what's behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have,
this is premature.
they should have a say into, or at least look at what's there.
Right.
Well, ice and water is great, keeping the water out as best you can. You start putting up some other kind of finished material, it could in fact impact how they're gonna mount this
Yeah.
awning you're looking at designing.
Yeah. Well, the awning wouldn't, we need like drip cap underneath the top of that
Right.
ledge there where
Sure.
the brick is.
Yeah.
And then something like the awning's really just decorative. It's not gonna provide any weather protection or anything. This would provide the weather protection. The awning just goes over it. If you wanted to get, if you viewed that awning as like protection from rain or whatever, then we'd have to actually have a mason flash the top of that
Oh,
standing
right.
seam metal
Oh, yeah.
into the
Right.
brick.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't see us doing that.
No, I
you know?
wasn't thinking that at all.
Yeah. Which I guess in my mind means that that awning roof system could just get mounted right to this, because you're never, unless you got under there and looked up during a rainstorm and saw some drips coming down, you'd probably never.
So you're thinking
Well-
white PVC, white,
So
what,
technically, this is the
Yeah.
only thing on the agenda
Yes.
for approval.
Mhm.
So we have to either approve or deny or do something with this as the first step, right? You can approve tonight. Or continue, right?
Which I already sort of
So you
suggested
hinted
was the
at-
direction we're going in.
What do you guys think?
um,
Is this premature? I mean, this isn't gonna be cheap either, probably, to put this up. I mean, this is,
I don't view this as a big. Well,
but I mean,
I
if
mean, it's
it's
not
not,
super cheap, but it's nothing nearing the cost of like a standing seam metal roof. You know, like to me, this is sort of like button it up, make it weather tight, and then it probably doesn't come down. But if it had to come down in order to install an actual,
well, I think that's part of what is coming out here is, is this just gonna be something temporary? Is this gonna be permanent?
right,
I think if we knew this was gonna be temporary, maybe that might be something. I don't know that we're ready to sign on to this to be something permanent.
Well, it doesn't, the way I look at it, doesn't really, I don't see that treatment used anywhere else. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. It just,
Well, we gotta say something.
the
if you
treatment that's
couldn't-
proposed, you mean?
yeah, this
Yeah.
proposed treatment. Because again, like, you might get a price for an awning and be like, oh, forget it, that's just way too expensive. So
Right,
however whatever we decide that's gonna go there, it has to be able to
Be permanent.
be
Stand
permanent.
alone.
It
Mhm.
does have to stand alone. And a lot of times, like, somebody will come in, like, like the gob shop with architectural drawings, saying, this is what I'm proposing, and
Mhm.
we can respond to that. You know,
Have you thought about, you talked about other materials other than PVC?
Right,
What other, and you talked about cedar perhaps?
yeah,
Um, would we be happier with something like that? We need a drawing.
it's so big though.
It's a
If
big
that-
space.
It's
I
a
mean,
5 by 8 foot,
55 feet long.
Right.
And it was never meant to be wood or certainly exposed wood. That's why I believe that's why that wood's in good shape underneath, because it was covered with copper for 100 years.
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
Well, but
Um,
that's the question. If we're not ready to approve PVC, excuse me, is there a material we might be happier with? Or are we in a position where we need to see a more complete design, which might include an awning and how that could be incorporated?
Well,
The wood that is structural in the back, that's just sheathing is not the
Yeah.
question.
Right.
This thing needs to be, the copper was flashing. It was a
Right.
method of
right,
keeping moisture or water out.
right.
Right,
Mhm.
So that's what has to happen next in a way that looks
Something.
reasonably good.
well, flashing you'll never see. That's
Yeah.
gonna be behind the
Yeah,
finished
essentially.
But
product.
that's all, I mean, whether there's a sign there or not, we don't know, but there probably was. That's not gonna happen again.
Right.
But it's a pretty expansive
a big
piece of the
space.
front of the building.
Right.
It's a giant banner.
Our flashing right now would be the ice and water shield. You know, like what we put up there wouldn't come down. This
Right.
would be
Oh,
applied
absolutely.
over it.
Right.
Yeah,
What do you think, Lisa?
I mean, brick isn't, she mentioned it
I like
before.
the brick idea.
Brick's not a terrible idea. I
I
don't
don't-
know how much it would cost.
Yeah.
I don't, do you want to
Would you be willing,
preserve?
would you be willing to explore brick?
Preserving.
probably
Why
not,
is
just
it?
because we
It does
just
cost-
redid all the brick there and I know what that cost. You know, and that was just redoing the existing brick.
Yeah.
And honestly, we've got a lot more work to do on that. That building was in deplorable condition when we took it over. Like we spent a lot of money and there's still a lot more to spend on other things. Including brick along that whole side, which you see from the road, you know, that south facing side of the building where it's 2 stories and then.
Southern exposure.
Yeah, all that brick is like in really bad shape.
Hmm.
And I guess too, I just don't understand. I mean, you guys, it's just a question. If there was never brick there in the first place,
Right.
how is that historically?
Well, it's
Appropriate.
It's
not.
it's technically, you can say that it's not, but the sign code has changed over 100 years.
Yeah,
So 100 years ago, this was an acceptable size for a sign.
yeah,
Today, it's not.
got it.
So,
You're kind of stuck with a giant banner.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's not ideal thing to work with.
sure.
and
I mean,
and that's why,
Could draw people's eyes to
And
it.
that's
It's why
why-
good for the businesses there.
you know, over that century, you had copper, you had aluminum. you
Right.
had very vertical awnings to kind
Mhm.
of cover that up.
But we don't know what it was when the building was built, what,
Well, I think it was the copper.
the
Yeah.
whole copper band.
Yeah.
5 feet tall and 8 feet.
But then signs attached to it.
I mean,
Covering the,
Something went over that copper because
Yeah,
it
big
wasn't
time.
the way it was installed. There's just like big seams. It was underlayment, you know.
okay.
I mean,
Right,
but
the
there is
coverings.
potentially with the. It's not necessarily a road you may want to go down, but there's potentially. Zoning variance in play
Mhm,
because the sign's existing, technically.
mhm,
You mean if you wanted to put a sign there?
Yeah, so
That big?
mhm.
existing signs are allowed to
Oh,
stay.
yeah, but there's no sign there now.
Yeah, well, but there sort of is. I mean, it's the backdrop of the sign. Like the sign frame is there. Anything written on it doesn't mean it's not a sign.
How many
Well,
retail
if it's a
units
gray
are
area.
in this building? 3? I mean,
3, yeah.
3, okay.
Well,
that's-
and then a fourth, and the Arts Alive technically is in that building on that same floor, but they only have access from the back.
Okay, so that would be 3 pieces of signage at least, you
Right.
know, and that's gonna change over time.
Right.
So you have to think about that as a flexible piece of the whole
Yeah.
plan.
I mean, I personally think it's better to have like the current signage that exists on Main Street. I like it. I think it looks nice. So I wouldn't be in favor of like a huge billboard style sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't ever foresee a tenant that occupies
The
all
whole-
of that space. It's actually huge. Like that
Not
first floor is big and that, I don't know what was there originally, but somebody had said maybe a market. I don't know.
Well,
It would make
the addition was added too, obviously, in the back.
In the back. Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway. All right, you guys. Up or down on the materials? What do we do?
Well, it looks like PVC is the only option you're proposing right now.
I would consider cedar as well.
Well, but there's wood there now, right? Under the
Yep.
rubber.
Yep. But that wood is just underlayment. So like something's got to go over. Well,
Finish it.
over the underlayment that's there now
Finish, right?
should be water protection, which would be ice and water. And then over that is a finished product like cedar or PVC or aluminum.
And in what form though? Can
Yeah.
cedar wouldn't you use like paintable plywood or something or?
Yeah.
No,
I would do it exactly the way we've proposed it here with in lieu of PVC.
You
Cedar.
can't get cedar in big sheets,
no,
It would have to
Um,
be.
yeah, you can't.
plywood or something.
It would have to be-
Roof.
And that's not long-term. None of that's long-term. If it's not metal or masonry, it's just
Yeah,
really not long-term.
I mean, can you investigate aluminum or some other metal material to replace the copper that was there?
as an underlayment, you mean, or as a
Yeah. As a
finished
finish.
product?
that's the finish.
Yeah.
As the copper would have finished before, replacing it with
Something.
aluminum or some sort of
Yeah.
metal that can be easily cut and fit.
I thought you were on board with me about copper being an underlayment. I think copper was never a finished product.
No.
personally.
Well, I say
Well,
finished,
to the
meaning
building,
Yeah.
the way that was
then the
left.
sign was put over that.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is not the finish, but it's the
Right.
finish of the structure
Of the
Yeah.
structure.
prior to something going over it.
Yeah.
So we think this is one huge
Sign.
signage banner,
Yes,
5 feet tall and 8 feet long.
55 feet long.
55 feet, it's really big.
But we have no evidence of that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we-
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
evidence of the scale of it.
Yeah.
No, I know we know the
And
scale, but
materials.
we don't know, well, anyway,
I think it was used differently in the past. And then once it was broken up into multiple storefronts, it was then covered in that,
yeah,
Aluminum,
that, you know,
yeah,
uh,
vertical.
but you have vertical, siding, I guess you'd call
Yeah,
it, metal
yeah.
siding. You know, but previous to that, each
These are the-
store had its own billboard kind of thing, like large sign.
yeah, I could see that.
And that was, you know, flat to the building. So. Yeah, how, you know, I guess. You could say, well, how is that building divided? You know, here's your section, here's your section, here's your section. And if the backdrop is, again, just flat and doesn't have all this
Well,
dividers.
yeah, I don't know.
Then you don't have to worry. Like, even if the sign doesn't fit perfectly and it's smaller, you still have a flat background. That's not,
All right. Is anybody on board with the PVC?
not the way it's presented.
No,
Okay, so then we'll start with that.
Okay.
Can you investigate like aluminum or other possible materials?
Sure.
Possibly in combination with an awning,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's one and the same somehow, or maybe,
Yep.
maybe they're used to situations like this, like I said before. Maybe they'll have some ideas.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, is there something that you can say, just so I don't want to make it like we're just trying stuff out and seeing how you guys
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
about
yeah,
it, because
yeah.
that could go
No.
on for a little while. Is there
Yeah.
something that you would prefer?
Well, we actually can have another meeting sooner than a month.
Yeah.
We can,
Yeah, we can.
But
do
you
that.
don't
I
want me
think
to
he-
come back and just, oh, hey, I found this. What do you think?
Yeah, I
No,
think
come
he's-
back, you know, it's wasting your time
Right,
too,
I think
really.
he's trying to, preempt that with some idea from the board of the materials. that
What
might be
you'd like.
effective.
sure.
Yeah, what you would like.
Um,
And then I can go out and investigate the cost and the
It also
liability.
might just help to know if the awning is a possibility or not, because I just
True.
feel like this is a lot of conjecture, and I see it as one design together. The
Yeah.
awning plus the choice of material underneath, so I know you were
Yeah.
thinking about maybe getting a quote or even just a rough estimate of what the
Yeah.
type of awning you want would cost.
Yeah,
Maybe if the next time we spoke, you kind of knew one way or another on the awning, then I
Yeah.
think it would help us expedite the flat
If we-
choice of what
if we
that's
came
gonna
in with a black standing seam metal awning roof, like shown, at a. Is that something you guys would all like? Personally, I think that would look the best. And the only reason we wouldn't do it is if it costs more money than we are comfortable spending right now. And I think there's a photo of one of them there, unless I took it back.
You have one. Well, you have the one photo.
So once it
So I'm actually picturing that look, but with that material, like black, just your standard blacks, standing seam metal roof,
Mhm.
but on that. It's because it's similar. This is a very long run,
Right.
it's set into this recessed sort of panel. And then we would just try to like,
And then, and then the back panel is maybe just flat aluminum or something like that.
yeah, I think to Margaret's point, because that's inherently attached to the awning that's gonna be on it.
yeah,
My thought would be to continue this, give you an opportunity to speak to an awning company or two, figure out what the cost would be and what the process would be for covering that back area as a
Mhm.
backdrop for the awning. And then you come back.
yeah,
If you want to do that sooner than a month, let us know. We'll make that happen.
awesome.
So that awning would end up taking up the entirety of the space, is
Potentially,
that correct?
yeah.
Yeah,
Size of it?
yep,
That sort of was my motion. I'll motion again
All right,
to continue this to next month or sooner if the applicant so wishes. Actually, I'm an alternate tonight.
Yeah.
So I can't make a
We
motion,
can't make it.
but I gave you my idea.
so, yeah, so the motion was to explore, you would explore estimates and designs for standing seam aluminum type awning.
any type awning, but
The
Incorporated
combination of
Oh,
a backdrop and an awning.
To come
Right.
back and,
Yep.
and with more specifics and, hopefully something that, actually works and that they can build and you can afford and we can approve.
Right. That's all we need.
That sound good?
That ought to be
And I-
easy enough.
Again, I
Uh,
would also lead you towards, you know, an architect who might be able to look at this very quickly and say, this is how I would handle it.
Yeah. just
Yeah.
Some
You
ideas.
know, I don't think I would want to take this.
You guys
on
work
without-
with an architect and all your stuff? You-
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, well, then.
They're not always the easiest to like get stuff done timely and
Just feedback. you know.
quickly. And,
Give us-
yeah,
Even feedback, I
Yeah.
think really helps.
yeah.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second,
Second by Eileen. Any other comment on the motion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
I,
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, Matt.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Good luck.
Have a good night. Thanks.
I'll wait till we get to our
Yeah.
comment, our
Are
business
we-
stuff. I have a question.
he's not gonna want a meeting before that, or?
But he's gonna let us know.
Okay.
Okay. There.
Okay.
Next on the agenda, completed properties, JPS Properties, 508 Main Street, replace shingles. That's where we're trying to set up a site visit, right, with the contractor?
From the owner, and she does wanna have a site visit. But I have not heard back from the contractor and left 3 voicemails
Okay.
for the past week, so she's trying to reach out to him as well.
Okay,
I'm not sure how this is going to end or how we go about this as far as like the tax revenue part,
so
so,
we just continue it, right? Nobody's here.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we'll schedule a site visit
Yeah,
through email. Okay, I'll make a motion to continue.
Second.
Second by Joan, all in favor?
Hi,
All right. Okay, next,
All right.
Lisa.
Lisa,
Yep.
yeah, you have to, sign a.
You did, yeah.
Oh, you already did.
Do I have to
you
leave
just
the
have to
room?
post it over here.
18
Okay.
Washington Street, tax credit $3,300. You have the receipts? Melissa, you have all the receipts? Nice. All right. You can go aside.
You had
Amazing work as always.
$3,300.
Yeah.
It was under 33 though.
And there it is in the minutes.
So was the total only $2,400 then? Oh, wait, no,
There is two.
30,
it's 1,000, not 100.
it's 20, 23 and 1,000. Questions or comments?
No?
Okay, somebody want to make a motion?
So I move that we approve the real estate tax credit for 18 Washington Street in the amount of $2,300.
Do we have a second?
No, I'm sorry,
33, yes.
Second by Margaret, all in favor?
I,
Okay, next. Litter and Heavy Blade, 80 Baker Street, tax credit, $131,817. And the place, I don't know if anybody's gotten a chance to get over there and see it, but it's absolutely gorgeous.
yeah, it came out really nice.
So,
So it's not for the windows. That's the, that was the only thing that got, because on here it says windows and foundation,
Oh.
but I think it's for
yes,
painting, foundation, everything but windows.
You're correct.
basically.
okay.
Yeah, there's
You're gonna put that in your motion?
Sure. So I'll make a motion to approve the tax credits in the amount of $131,819.09. Excluding the windows, but including foundation, paint repairs, removal of vinyl siding.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second,
Second by Eileen, all in favor?
I,
Okay. Any comments by board members?
Yeah, what is the? Are we down a member still?
yes,
Yes.
Yeah, so I could have made a motion, but
yes,
it's 5 voting members. There's 4 here.
There's 4 voting members here.
But who's
No, I
So I'm the first alternate. So I could have made a motion. That's the fifth.
That's true.
We're down a second
Is
person.
that right? Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. Yep. Yeah.
So are we advertising for that or how does it work?
Should be.
Another
for
member?
The position.
Yeah, so that comes from the clerk's office.
Yeah.
So it would be an advertisement and then, to apply and then go before the council. So I think next month's meeting, it would be on the agenda.
For the open spot that we have.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Carol's not applying just for alternate status. That's what I thought she was doing. She's.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, that I wasn't
I
familiar
think
with.
she said. If neither alternate was going to. Like advance, then she was gonna try to stay as, like if no one
Like
wanted to
alternate.
advance.
Got it.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's what it was.
She would stay as the.
She would stay as such a.
Can you have three alternates?
No, somebody. Someone wanted to be on this.
Step it up. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
Okay, what else?
Okay. And Scott is gonna apply.
I already applied to
You
that.
already applied?
Yeah.
For the full-time position, that's great.
okay, great.
Thank you, Scott.
Yep.
Okay, administrative matters, nomination of officers, chair and vice chair.
Mhm.
Anybody want to chair?
Nominate Davidson.
Second.
Yeah.
Already done. She nominated you. I seconded it.
All in favor?
Hi,
Okay.
Who was vice chair before?
Carol.
Eileen, you don't want it?
You
Come
want
on. I really don't. I nominate
Sure.
Margaret to be vice chair.
Yeah,
What about Joan?
doesn't matter.
All right, do we have a second?
For which one?
Margaret.
Margaret or John?
My motions.
He made a motion for Margaret. So I need
Need
a
a
second.
second for that.
I'll second that.
Margaret.
All right, we have a second from Joan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you, Margaret.
Sorry,
Thank you, Margaret.
you qualified.
You
Yes,
generally have a pretty good attendance record, so. Anyway, discussion action about a workshop with the planning department to discuss design concepts in the historic district. Okay, where did this come from? Who generated this?
What's his design concerns?
Yeah. Well, it was something that was discussed at the Warren Preservation Society meeting. That in the past, we've had a lot of problems with development in the district. There's more affordable housing coming in front of it and things like that. And we didn't really have much of a say. And I think the planning board wasn't used to having to deal with those kinds of concerns. When our last manager, Kate Michaud, after the Norbert Street disaster, had kind of told us that there would be a workshop with the planning board in terms of how to make those decisions, how to make better decisions. And it never happened. And, you know, I just continue to see stuff come in front, you know, like that happens. And, you know, and like I said, Warren is a lot happening here. So the planning board has to, you know, they get thrown, you know, Liberty Street School, you know, like all of these things. And I think they just get overwhelmed. Because they're not used to dealing with the issues that, you know, are concerns within the district and that people in the neighborhood care about. So I don't know how we would make that happen. You know,
We can motion to request it. I think
okay.
And there are courses, you know how like the camp course is offered to us as commission members. I don't know if a planner would be required to take that if you're on the planning board or the zoning board, but maybe it could be offered because that's a free training that's I don't know if it's every year, it's every couple of years at the very least.
Yeah.
And that's all about a background in what historic preservation as a field and a profession is. So that's one thing that could be offered maybe. I suspect the Rhode Island State Historic Preservation Office would probably be willing to give a presentation perhaps to the planning board, or they might have a resource, a video or something, if not.
Something they've done before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right, does somebody want to take the lead on this and work with, well, I guess Alyssa to make a request, right?
Yeah,
To the-
and I can make a motion and always suggest to the board that in the application checklist process, that maybe both boards can come up with some type of like not like a TLC, but like a pre-meeting prior to that, like see presenting, so like planning to confirm with you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, we've
Like-
talked about that a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
It's hard without the planner, but
yeah.
I know.
yeah, this is what we're
Just to get
struggling with.
something together.
Mhm.
All right, are you willing to
I mean,
be a liaison to this or?
I can be a liaison. I don't think I can lead the workshop.
No, I just meant to get it, just to get it scheduled or figure out what we're gonna do.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay, okay.
All right,
We need a motion on that? or-
yes, I'll make a motion, that Eileen is a liaison to follow up with this issue with the planning department. You have a second?
Second.
Second by Margaret, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next, discussion and action regarding vinyl fences in the historic district. Lisa,
The,
oh, what? Yeah, we're not gonna take any action. Yeah.
I'm just noticing some vinyl fencing going up in the historic district, and I don't think that it's a
Yeah.
choice material for a historic district. And, I would like to see some language stating that.
So there's no, right now, there's no jurisdiction over.
Right, fences,
So this board has no jurisdiction.
right,
If someone were to put up a fence.
right.
Mhm.
Okay, so what would that process be?
Changing the ordinance.
Changing the ordinance? Yeah.
There's a large, very big process.
It's a big
It is.
process.
Yeah,
But
Is it-
we can, I know other towns have them,
Yeah.
so we can
yeah,
look at other towns as examples. Um,
but yeah, that's. one
So
we
it would go to the
town.
Town council?
Actually, it would go to it would go to the council and then to the planning board for a recommendation.
Recommendation.
then go to the town.
yep, with public hearings,
So it's doable. Yeah.
And so even if someone were to apply because it's not in the ordinance, they couldn't even get tax credits if they wanted to put in a cedar fence. Okay. Yeah, that's too bad.
no, unless they were replacing a historic fence.
It would work for a historic fence?
I don't think that's.
No.
Fences aren't covered at all, so there
Yeah.
would be no way to.
So not, well, I mean, once it was all passed,
Oh, yeah, if.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
right,
Yeah,
yeah,
it would be a matter of putting it into the
Right.
tax credit
right,
ordinance.
right. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you wanna do some research on that and,
See how
See
other
what's
towns,
involved and
their
see what-
languages,
Yeah.
or, okay, yes, I will.
you know, maybe
And then-
Newport, maybe Bristol?
Yeah,
whatnot.
then we can ask the council if they'll consider.
Yeah, we'd have to put it to the council and see what they say.
Okay.
That would be for any future.
Cause I know the only
Yeah.
jurisdiction over fences at the moment is height, and that's
Yeah,
just,
setbacks.
it's a zoning board issue, right?
Yeah,
So like on corners for safety and things like that.
Mhm.
So to get into materials and design and all that would be a whole
yeah.
part of the
Yeah.
historic commission language,
Mhm.
the ordinance. Okay, I'll make a motion that Lisa Martins follows up on the fences in the historic district. Good. You have a second?
Second.
Second by Joan, all in favor? Aye.
Can I just, it's not on the agenda, but can I just ask what steps we need to take to be a historic district and have the term voluntary officially dropped? And are we moving in that direction? I think it would be perhaps difficult to change our ordinance about fencing, even though it would be useful.
I thought that was already in
Given-
process, isn't it?
Well,
So-
but yes,
So,
Want to get into further discussion on this, I'd recommend that vote to add into the agenda, so there would be a motion to amend the agenda to include discussion on the change of the.
Right now, so do that first.
Okay, so I make a motion to add a discussion about our historic district designation to our agenda this evening.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay,
Thank you.
shoot.
So, as Lisa was bringing up the fencing issue, and I completely agree with her, but we're in a sort of tenuous position, I think, with regard to the enforcement, maybe enforcement isn't the right word, but our current historic district. And apparently there needs to be some ordinance changes. And I
So
don't know how that
Comp plan's
happens.
been
I'm just
passed.
curious.
by the county and the state, right, as far as I know?
Yeah.
And all that stuff is in there. And from what I understand, after doing this 30 years ago, is that we have to basically hire a consultant to draft the language that would implement all of that stuff into the zoning ordinance for the entire comp plan, not just this particular subject.
I don't know whether or not this goes into the zoning ordinance or just into the code generally. And depending on which one, it would originate from different source.
Okay, it's called historic district zoning, so I'm pretty sure it goes in the zoning ordinance.
How other communities handle it, because it's done different ways, like, for instance, the demolition ordinance here is.
Right, in the ordinance, I know that.
Tax credit. So, you know, Warren has a very unique structure, how you guys do historic
Right.
zoning, basically.
Mhm.
Other communities don't handle it that way, as you know.
Right.
Warren is notorious for very strict about their historic zoning, so I would look at that if the town wants to shift in that direction.
Well, what,
I think it has
All-
more to do with the
all-
name of our.
all of that all that's been, in a macro sense, has already been deliberated, and it's been put into the comp plan.
It's
Yeah.
already there. We just.
It's already there. We've already done that. So it's just a question of implementing that language into, whether it's the town code or the zoning ordinance, so those things take effect. Because right now, they won't take effect at this level until they're in the actual ordinance.
Yes.
But typically, you need to hire a consultant to write all that language. Put it before the council, public hearings, the whole 9 yards,
Yep.
and finally get it approved.
Yep.
But that, as far as I know, we haven't budgeted the money for that.
And keep.
I don't know if there's a state deadline to get that done, like once the comp plan's approved, how much?
The
Yes, absolutely.
comprehensive plan, the ordinances, you have some,
We have someone now doing that?
Yeah.
Oh,
But that's not for the comprehensive plan, from what I understand. That's just for the various state laws that have been passed.
so
Really?
that's the an action that the planning board's taken on like items that he adopted that needed to be rewritten. That's happening right now behind the scenes
Oh.
by a private. So if you have something subject, I can bring it to Allison and then she will
Oh, she's
Oh, that
already,
bring it to the
good.
party that's doing it.
As long as they're doing the entire thing, there shouldn't
Yeah.
need
that would be
specification.
good.
right.
Yeah, we just have to kind of dictate the order. There's like a huge list.
Okay.
of
Yeah.
things.
I thought I saw the planning board was choosing
Yeah, they are.
what they were gonna implement, so could we request
So
something
next,
this
yeah,
evening?
so next week they're gonna finalize like the importance of the list and then anything else can be added and they help do that.
Yeah, it's a
So
really
how
long
would
list.
we send that, how would we get that to them? Would that be tonight? We would make a request
So
or?
he won't be able to take action on it tonight.
Because it's not on the agenda.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
okay.
when you make a motion to add something to the agenda at the meeting, it's only for discussion purposes. You can't have an action item
Mhm, okay.
at the last minute. So it would have to be at the next meeting. You'd have this on the agenda and then you would ask the planning board.
Like a reference.
Yeah, you'd have.
Okay.
a referral.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Does that mean we have to have input in planning and zoning ordinance changes or
No, just
no,
planning
just?
does
Yeah, so.
Since we're
planning is
split
there.
across so many.
Planning is responsible. for Implementation of the comprehensive plan, so they're the ones that are gonna be overseeing that process. So that's why you need to talk to them to have them, then make sure that that, you know, gets
Fits.
put up on the agenda.
Okay.
Good.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay,
And
Great.
depending on how they maneuver it, it could potentially go to some.
Yep.
Depending on the person.
But if
Okay.
it was moving forward, we'd feel comfortable with that if it was moving forward and we could see this transition taking
yeah,
place.
well, it sounds like it is. I just wasn't
No,
aware.
it-
Okay,
it's happening.
great. Anything else?
And what,
What?
did we put something else on there about, I'm forgetting, sorry.
Okay. Motion to adjourn. We need a second.
Second.
All in favor?